As many of you know, in 1984, there was a terrible episode in the history of India. And since that time, I've come to learn that no member of the Indian government, senior ministerial level, has been invited to any of the Sikh temples outside and certainly in this country. And on 2 days ago, we had a wonderful gathering where the Sikh community got together and invited Dr. Swami to attend, and together we've launched an initiative in which the Hindu community and the Sikh community will be working for the betterment of all of our activity. I must apologize. There is a third community who are immensely key in terms of their mastery and their protection of some of the spiritual practices which go with the Indian tradition, so much so that they are shy, retiring, and they are always in the background, and I am guilty of not noticing and acknowledging them often enough. Our friends from the Jain community, who were also present in that meeting, and they too are on board with this initiative. So just David, thank you very much for being part of this, and if you'd like to say a few words, or if Hajiti would like to say a few words, more than welcome.
Thank you. Dr. Subramaniam Swami, esteemed guests, and ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here. We had quite candid conversations with Dr. Swami on Friday, and as you know, the Sikhs never hold back when there is a discussion going on. They don't always observe diplomatic etiquettes. So Friday, Dr. Swami and the Sikhs had a very front-to-front, face-to-face discussion in the public, and many of the issues that have divided the communities, it seems, can be bridged over, and we are very encouraged that Dr. Swami will take these issues back to the Indian state and hopefully begin a process of reconciliation. And what Satish Sharma has said is true, that not even Dr. Manmohan Singh was able to step into any Sikh Gurdwara out in the West when he was Prime Minister. Dr. Swami, you are the first Indian leader to have been invited. Even the leaders of the Punjab government have never been able to step in a Gurdwara in the West. And I hope this first step will go a long way. And the other thing is that we have our issues in this country, in Canada, in America, which are domestic issues between which our communities have to handle together. Our divisions have been exploited, especially in the caste legislation. They have, as I saw, they spearheaded a sect of the Sikhs to attack the Sikhs, but the target is not the Sikhs, the target is Hinduism, and the target is the 1950 legislation. And we have worked, Satish, Mukesh, Bharti Ben, and many others, and Dr. Sen have worked very hard. And I think from Friday onwards, the two communities are going to work together and give a very clear message to this country. And this is the message I gave to the MPs at that time, that we are no longer in the colony now. You have to stop playing these colonial games with us. During colonialism, you decided who we were. You decided how we were going to act. You decided who should represent us. We are now in this country, we are equal citizens, and without consulting us, without talking to us, without understanding us, you have no right to pass legislation, because this is the only legislation in this country, and this is the truth. This is the only legislation in this country, social legislation, which has come And the government has said, both parties have said, we'll do the research and we'll do the consultation to see whether it's necessary that legislation must be in place. How can you legislate something that you don't know whether it's necessary? How do you legislate something you don't know what it's about? And none of the MPs, none of the lords have been able to define what caste is, and they have responded. We've got letters from them. Yes, we don't understand what it is. You might as well legislate on fairies. And when I asked the question to MPs, you are legislating about, this is the words of one of the MPs, even if there is one potential case of caste discrimination, we must have the legislation in place. This is in the land of mythology, Alice in Wonderland, that if there is a potential case, and I reminded the MP, there are millions of cases of working class people in this country, white English working class people who are discriminated day in, day out. In front of me, I work as a doctor in a hospital. I've seen many working class people whose careers cannot advance because their accent is not right, because their habits are not right, because their background isn't right. When you, Labour Party, are going to legislate to stop discrimination against your own people, I am a better protected species in this country than your white working class people. They have no answer to that. Why are they concerned about a minor problem, if there is one, in a community when they're not even willing to help their own community? There is a much more insidious reason, and I think everybody has heard that and listened to that. And I hope we can work together now. And Dr. Swami, thank you very much for coming here and
Thank you. Good work. Thank you. Thank you. Hanji, please be comfortable. Thank you. Would you like to? I think Mohammed wanted to share something about his gardening with us. He's been moved to make a contribution. So, Mohammed.
Thank you very much, Satish. It's an honour to have this award, and I just wanted to add a few comments to the excellent words that we've just heard. Satish has been an absolutely brilliant brother and friend to me at times when I've had very few brothers and friends to stand by me, and I just want to, I'm sure you will all join in giving him the credit and the respect that he is due as a person who has without fear taken a stand, sometimes against some of the hierarchy of his own community, as well as standing up to the might and the power of the Church of England and the UK establishment in defending the rights of all of us as equal citizens. I very much echo the comments that were made previously about this kind of colonialist way of dealing with particular minorities in a way that's extremely damaging. And I just wanted to add a little bit from the Muslim experience, because part of the problem that we have in this country is that there are vested interests that are supporting right-wing, fascist, Islamist organizations to speak on behalf of me and on behalf of ordinary people of a Muslim background and Muslim belief who just simply want to work as doctors and lawyers and businessmen and families and neighbors alongside you, and do not recognize the kind of Muslim in a box way of dealing with us, appointing organizations like the Muslim Council of Britain to speak for us, which don't speak for us, that represent sort of 4 to 6% of our community, but also have links to right-wing, violent Islamist, Jamaati Islami organizations that cause communal violence against Hindu and Christian and Buddhist minorities in Pakistan and Bangladesh. And that's why it's really important what's happening here, where we're building alliances with those voices that put human rights, including the human rights of Hindu and other minorities in South Asia, as a responsibility of all of us here in the UK. And I think it's really, really wonderful that we have everybody standing together around this. I think organizations that have been set up for us and taxpayer funded, like the INterFaith network, taxpayer funded, have appointed for us leaders in the Muslim community that do not speak for us and are actually extremely damaging to our wish to act as citizens alongside all of you as brothers and sisters in the one commitment to truth and reconciliation. Thank you.
Thank you. being immensely scholarly and really wise, I know when it's time to be quiet. Thank you very much for your support and for your contribution and your best wishes. And I look forward to everybody continuing having a great evening. Dinner is ready. So please, if we can go from one row and just take our time. We have plenty of time, plenty of food, and have a great meal. And do mix and network and talk to each other. And we will hopefully see you on the other side. Thank you very much.
I would expect for the first two photos. One second.
That's good. Make sure you're sitting off.